So welcome to day 43 of scaling my marketing and consulting agency to 10k a month. We're almost halfway through February now, which is, I don't know, in my head, because obviously it's a short month as well, it's like causing a little bit of alarm because I really wanted to pull February back and it be the start of really getting going with this. Like I had some experience with getting some clients on in the new year, taking payment for the first time on the call, like this time last month, and starting to get into that of like, okay, I can get clients, I can take a call with people and get them to give me money because they see value in what I'm saying, etc., etc. And today was the first day of having my ad campaign running. Bit weird in terms of this time around what I'm doing is basically running it directly to a landing page. So obviously I'm seeing less leads come through because of that, because obviously it's a lot easier to fill in a form and etc., etc., than go onto the actual website and put in all your details and then go onto the next page and book a call in, etc., etc. But I had someone put in their information today, one lead, like the entire day. Weird, like very different. And I'm tracking all that data to see how it goes, because at the minute it's not performing to the level it definitely did before. So obviously it's just because as well it's different, so it's kind of like I have nothing to compare it to because I've never done just landing page. But yeah, again, obviously I should be able to see as time goes on how that campaign kind of works, and I need a bit more data and a bit more time to run it before I can make those assumptions. But that one lead that came through, I rang him up, a guy who actually owns a clinic, he's a doctor. So I'm getting, doctor-led clinic owners basically clicking through and putting their information in. Obviously it's only been one, but I have the call with him, and you'll see that in for tomorrow's video, me having that call and the outcome of that. But yeah, I think pulling it back, got the campaigns back up and running. There's still more recordings to do for it, for some of the direct booking campaign bits, but yeah, can do those fairly soon. And I think the main thing to say is that I am making good progress. This week has been like the first week of me actually like sitting down and pretty consistently doing like 12-hour work days of like getting to my desk at 6 or 7 or 8 o'clock and working until 6, 7 or 8 o'clock. Some of the days even been longer, like a few days ago on, was it Monday or Tuesday, where I did the 4 till 10 p.m. shift, and I was kind of at my desk from about 8 o'clock, so that was very good. And yeah, consistently working hard, so it's like I'm kind of putting just all of the things in different orders, and I guess on the whole, to be completely honest with you, it's been like quite frustrating because good things are happening. Like the title of this video will say that like the campaigns are running, and I got a call booked from the first lead and on the first day, so that's obviously amazing. And we'll wait for the outcome of that. It could be me just being completely like delusional, or not, like just being blinded by some negativity at the minute. But I guess it's just frustrating in terms of I'm starting to realise more and more about what entrepreneurialism at its core is about, and it's about being able to have the identity of the person the idea of having the identity of the person that you want to be is so fundamental, and I think I didn't realise how much that played into things, which is that I thought, okay, well you're trying to run a business, you just need to focus primarily and fundamentally on the things that you need to do on the business to get to the next level. But what you don't realise when you first get into it is that you yourself as a person aren't going to let yourself carry out the actions that you need to if you still think certain things and think certain ways. So if you think that a certain amount of money is loads of money, or if you think that it's just your fundamental paradigms of how the world works and what is possible in life, and your relationship with work and how much input you're willing to put in, if you don't go through that and try and work it out. Basically, you're not going to be able to do the things that are necessary to get the business to where you want it to be. So I feel like that's the thing that I've been realizing more and more recently. And I am really getting there though, so I need to be like good to myself as well. Like I am getting there. Like I said, I've sat down and I've sat down, been at my desk and at my computer pretty much 12 hours every day. Have I been productive the entire time during that? No, to be honest. There are times when I might have lunch and I'll be watching like a video a bit longer than I probably should, or I'm doing things that aren't complete like needle movers in terms of the business moving forward. But I don't know, it's so hard to know if you are doing really well, if you're not, because if I could be a fly on a wall with somebody that is in the position that I want to be in, and I see them doing all these things as well, like I am, then it would make me think, oh, I can just chill out. I could, like, why am I worrying so much? But this is the thing about entrepreneurialism, is that it is quite an inherently lonely thing to do, to be honest, because no one gets, how I get it, what I want to do with this business, what my vision is with it, and why I think that I will be able to get where I will be in the future, as you'll see with these videos in the next few months and years. And at the minute, no one gets that, and that makes complete sense, because why would they? Because they haven't put in the hours like I have to learn this industry and learn about what's possible as well. But for me, it's all in my head, and I know exactly what it is that needs to happen. So there's just like a fundamental gap, almost in a way, there between even certain people really close to me, like my parents, for example. It's like, or friends or anything, like people mean well. Of course they do, they mean well, but you have to take the advice and think about things in the way that the person you want to become and those people like you that you're aware of and that you know are. You can't take advice from people who aren't in the position that you want to be in, and you can't think like them either, because if you want to be able to succeed and gain things that are out of the ordinary, then you have to do a lot of things that are out of the ordinary too, which is work extremely long days, take on a lot of stress, and ultimately learn how to manage that well. But I think it was literally something I was thinking about in the shower one day, was like, like naturally your parents will say like, oh, don't work yourself to the ground, like you're going to make yourself ill. Like, I don't get why it is that I genuinely want to do all this stuff for the potential chance of getting a really good outcome. And I think their reason for thinking that is because how they see a good life and success is very different to how I see it, because I've been exposed to what is possible in the space. And I think that's the divide. And for anybody watching thinking, should I get into it? I mean, to be honest, I would say yes, because you'll be able to see from these videos what it will do to my life. And at the end of the day, fundamentally, like, I'm so passionate about this stuff, and this working on this is so good for me as a person, because I've always wanted to be a business owner and run something like this and do something that's very difficult and work on that every day and face a lot of pushback, but be able to get through it and do well. But to be completely honest with you, it is incredibly difficult. It's incredibly emotional. It's so hard. It will probably break you, and you'll have to pick yourself up again, because you have no choice if you want to succeed with it. And yeah, it's quite a lonely feat as well, because no one gets it. But yeah, despite that, the rewards definitely outweigh it. And even though I haven't experienced that yet, that's another thing. You just have to accept it. It's like that whole thing of, if every time you picked up the phone and did a cold call and you got a tenner for it, you would do it. And the truth is, if you look at it on a long enough time scale, that will be true. Like, for all the cold calls that I did in the past, eventually I'll earn so much money with the business that that will pay much more if you divided it by how many cold calls. And everything that I've ever done for the business, every hour that I've put in of work, like 12 hours a day at like 20 quid an hour or whatever, would be like, well, a lot of money, like 240 quid or whatever. And you think like every day, like 6 days a week or whatever. But eventually it will add up to that and more. But what you have to accept as an entrepreneur and running a business like this is that all of those rewards, they're just delayed. And you have to be able to like soak that up and think, every day you go to work and you sit down at your desk and you do a day's work and you see nothing from it. You won't see seemingly any visible progress. And you have to get up the next day and do the same. And you have to do that for months or maybe years on end. And at the end of it, you'll see a massive result, potentially, and people will say, overnight success, blah, blah, blah. But only you know, in the darkest days, what was necessary for you to get there. And no one can take that away from you, and that's why it's so valuable. But incredibly fucking difficult, and that is what I'm realising at the moment.